In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to digitize a logo from both an image and an SVG file inside the Embroidery Legacy software. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to take your artwork and turn it into a stitch-ready design fast. If you're new to digitizing or want to understand why and how everything in this video works, I put together a free Digitizing 101 course just for you. It covers the core theory behind stitch types, underlay, density, and structure, the exact foundations every digitizer needs to know. It even includes a printable cheat sheet to guide you through the process. You can download it for free right now. The link is in the description below. Now I've imported my PNG file into the software and I've resized it to 2.4 inches in height. I always like to resize my designs to the size of the embroidery first. You don't want to import a design that's 20 inches and try to digitize it at that size and then reduce it. It's really a waste of time. You're seeing too much on the screen. So resizing your artwork to the size you want to actually create the design is your first step. Then within our Embroidery Legacy software, I can reduce the opacity and I can dim out the artwork, which makes it a lot easier to see what you're digitizing, and it gives you more accuracy and better control over your actual stitch brushes. Now, more than likely, that's the first time you've ever heard the term stitch brushes, and that's because with the Embroidery Legacy software, we really wanted to have a clean user interface, and you can get rid of your properties, you can get rid of your sequence views, and you can have as much open area to digitize as possible. You want as much real estate to create your designs, and all of our tools are found in one convenient widget where I can get all of my embroidery brushes from a run to a bean to a classic satin to a satin to a fill stitch. Everything is right at my fingertips, and when my properties are open, all of the properties for each of the stitch brushes that I choose will show up within the Properties tab. So it's very easy and very convenient to fine-tune and set whatever you want while you're digitizing. Now the first thing I'm going to do is choose a color. So I'll just choose a purple color to match the purple that I'm using. I'm going to turn my 3D on and I'm going to zoom into a 6:1 scale. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan around my artwork. We also have auto pan features, but we have also a quick pan where I just have to hold the space key and I can pan anywhere around the screen that I want. So if I want to digitize just this little object, all I have to do is with the classic satin, come in and go point counterpoint. This is the traditional way that most software is designed to create objects, and it is done. Now I can very quickly toggle between my stitches. So if I want to toggle between a classic satin and a run, I have hotkeys within the software, so I can just come in and very quickly come into the next object, drop my stitches, it's going to create it to the next object, and I'm ready to keep on going. But there's other ways that we can create satin stitches as well. Besides the classic satin, I also have the ability to just outline an object, and I'm going to outline the outside of this object, come right to here, go over to the other side, come back to this side here, and when I get right back here, it's going to go opposite to where I started. And this is actually a quick draw feature, so it's creating Beziers as it goes. When I hit enter, it's going to ask me for my stitch directions, my inclination points. And all I have to do is create my stitch directions that I want, and then when I hit enter and enter again, it's going to generate that stitch. We also have features like snap to anchor for continuous digitizing, as well as auto joining for objects that are connecting, which really assists in automating the process and makes digitizing even faster. Now I'm going to go back to a run stitch, so I can go back to a run and I can just run from this object over to this one, making sure that I don't have any unnecessary jumps or trims within the design. And now I can go back to my classic satin, and this piece here I'm just going to do point counterpoint. So we're giving you more than one way to create a satin stitch, and you can use whichever one is actually faster for you. Now I'm going to come here, hit enter, and then I just have one more piece to do from here, so I can do the same thing, just use that classic satin, go around this entire design just like this, and because I do have the auto pan feature, I can just pan over and it's going to automatically move within the screen. So as I get to the top, if I want to pan up a little bit, I just sort of tap towards the top side of the screen, and it will adjust itself to move in that direction. So I'm going to continue to go all the way around at my set scale. And you can digitize at any scale you want, but if you've watched any of my education, I do like to digitize at a set scale. So now that that piece is done, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to move it over so that I can see this next object. I'm going to switch over to my regular satin. I'm going to change the color so that I have a color on screen that is going to match the color of the actual object. And I'm just going to put a point here with a left click, which is a straight, do a couple rights for a curve, go back to a straight, come here, 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 and then I'm going to come to this side, come over to the other side, and then continue here to here, all straight points, and then go to curves, right to here, which is the opposite side. Then I'm going to put in a couple of inclination points just like that, enter, enter, and there is my object done. Now I'm going to move down to this piece right here, and I'm going to do the same thing, just put one object right here, come all the way down to the bottom, do the little tip of the needle right there, come all the way up to this point here, do this one right over here, hit enter, put an inclination and an inclination point, enter, enter, and that design is done as well. Now I can see that there is no unnecessary trims or jumps within this design. Everything is actually looking good, but if I do want to change anything within here, I can always adjust my start and stop points. So if I want to start a little further down, or if I want this one to stop not at the very edge, I can always do that. If I do see that there is unnecessary trims, that's how I quickly go in and change them, just by moving starts or stops or entry points or inclinations. Everything is right at your fingertips, but that was a very quick design, very simple to do, and we are ready to run this on the machine. Now before we run that design, we have one more to do, and this is going to be quick because it is an SVG file. It's a vector file format, which means it's already objects that are drawn. We don't have to use our brushes to actually create any of the objects. Now I've resized this to the same size as we had before, so it is 2.4 inches, and if I do select this and I right click on the entire piece of artwork, I can tell it to break it apart, so it's broken apart into individual pieces, and you can adjust the order of those pieces so you can adjust the sewing order. But I'm just going to click this one here, and I'm going to use what's called an Auto Satin tool, and when I click it, it turns it into stitches. It's like magic. I'm going to do this one, it turns it into stitches. But if I look at this, there's one little piece here that I don't like. I don't like how it actually did that object there, so I'm going to hit the Q key, which gives me in my properties the ability to adjust all of these points, and I'm going to adjust the anchor a little bit. And now that I adjusted that anchor, I can see that it's turned those stitches, and if I hit the W key, I can put in an inclination point from one side to the other and change that as well. So that's going to give me a really nice clean look. Now I'm going to just grab that one there, do the same thing, Auto Satin, do this one, Auto Satin, and this design is done. So we're going to sew this one out as well. It doesn't get much faster than that. We're going to save these designs, run them on the machine, and show you the results. Well, they finished running on the machine and they both look great. Regardless of what type of artwork you're using, Embroidery Legacy software makes digitizing easy with regards to speed, automation, and stitch quality. If you're ready to stop struggling with creating designs and start digitizing with software that actually works the way you think, Embroidery Legacy software is waiting for you. The link is in the description. Now go watch these digitizing tutorials next.